session yesterday, and we were able to do some work on set A, although we were unable to finish the set A. And I discussed with Miriam that most of us will try to finish what was remaining at home, because I wanted us to have at least 2 sets so that we can work on the dashboard, so that we'll see how they are being collated and the percentage is being calculated. Okay, that was the idea. So today what we'll be doing, we'll be working on, yesterday I said that we'll be using set 1 and set 4. These 2 sets, we have them in all the facilities that we are doing assessment, whether it's a PMTCT or CCT facility. We have set 1 and set 4 for them. Set 1 is for every facility except lab standalone, while set 4 is for PMTCT, which we have in our CCTs. So we're able to finish. I guess that everybody have done their part B and the remaining part of 1A. Okay, so because we'll be doing the collection today. So now we have PMTCT. As I said in the first class, set 4 has 3 parts. We have set 4A, we have 4B, and we 4C. It's just like the normal cascade of PMTCT. If you look at set 4A, 4A is telling you the entry point. Hello?
Hi.
Set 4A is focused on the entry point. And that entry point could be ANC or postnatal. That's where, maybe I know step with this one well.
Which one?
This one, the 4 is upside down. While 4B is telling you activities that are happening in the labor and delivery room. While 4C is now telling you about the exposed infant. So that it is. But when you have, if you have the colored part of this, what you will notice is that 4A has a different color. Every set, I forgot to say it, every set is color coded, different from others. Let me just show you. So once, if you have them in color, once you move to another color, you know that you are in another set. So even if you are doing your assessment, you will know. Or even if you miss the papers, do you understand? You will use the color to know. Okay, let's look at
what they come to site with is colored version.
They come with colored version, yes. Even these 2 now, they print them in colored. This one, they print everything in color because that color helped them. Set A has a different color. 1A has a different color from 2. From 1A has a different color from 2, from 3, from 4, from 5, from 6. Every set has a different color. So we'll look at them now. Let me start from the beginning. This is set 1. You see the color of set 1. Okay, this is set 1. Is it clear?
That's blue.
Yes, it's not clear. It's not very clever. This one is blue. It's blue. It's blue. Okay. When you move away from here to another set, the color will change. So as you are scrolling down, you will see that up here is still blue. For every CEE, they will color here that same color of that set. So even when you miss the, when you're doing assessment, those things can fly and all that. You will use the color to bring them together. Do you understand? I forgot to say that in the first class. So let me go for another one. You see a different color now. Yeah. This is 1B. The color changed. Okay, it's still blue, but they are the same. 1A and 1B is still blue, but the other one was darker than this.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to set 2.
Green.
This is set 2. Set 2 started here. You can see we are seeing something like green.
Yes.
Do you understand? Let's go to set 3. You see everything in set 2 will be green, 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 green. Set 3. Set 2 has A and B. The B part is green, but the green is not as dark as, is different from that other one.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
The reason is that if you come to set 2, set 2 is focused on children, set 2A is focused on children. You know, general population, we have adult and children. 2A is adult, 2B is focused on children. Do you understand? So you can have TB screening in adult, TB screening in children. Do you understand? When they are missed, you use the color code and know this one goes to 2B and this one goes to 2A. Okay? So let's see. You see, this is set 3, is yellow. So we are now doing set 4. Let's continue with our business of the day.
That's set 4. That's the one that is GT color.
Yes, that's the color for set 4. If you go down, some of them are even pink, so many colors, red, blah 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 and all that. All of them have different colors. So here now, the set 4 is PMTCT. 4A is talking about events at ANC and postnatal. 4B, events at labor and delivery. 4C, HEI, HIV exposed infant follow-up. But remember, this is more or less like a table of content, what you have in all the sets. Do you understand? And down you will see time in, time out. Remember yesterday I said that for every set you need to time in and you need to time out. It helps us to know the quality of assessment that you've done. I don't know whether we are together.
Yeah.
It helps. So but here in this PMTCT, you don't do all the set 4 assessment in all facilities. There are facilities that when you visit them, you will go through all this. But there are some facilities where that when you visit them, you just do one, just very few, and you stop. I think this is the last one that you do, 1 to 4. You don't do others. And what determines that is simple. They will ask you a question. The pregnant women who are attending ANC, where do they receive their drug? If they receive their drug in the general ALT clinic, you stop here. But if they receive their drug in that ANC or MCH clinic, you do all. Does it make sense? Mm-hmm. The essence of that is that if they receive their drug where the general population receives drug, she's assessing the same quality of care the general population is assessing. I don't know whether you get it.
Yeah, sure.
But if she's receiving her own drug in a different place, that means she's made be assessing a different quality of care there. So we need to assess all these services. In the general population, when you were doing your own, you see that you see tracking, you see ALT register, you see everything here, you have them there.
That has already been assessed.
It has been assessed. So if she's assessing, getting her drugs from the ALT clinic for the general population, there is no need to go on to do that again. Okay? This was one of the points that we missed when we started SIMS. Until when we were doing, that's why out brief is important. It was in the out brief that somebody was just going through and the person saw this. Decision 3. Where do the HIV infected pregnant women in this ANC clinic receive ALT services? Tick either of these. The woman received the drug within the MCH, so you assess all the sets if it's in a different place. But when she assesses it in the general ALT clinic, you do 1 to 4. Sorry about that. I don't know whether we are together.
Yeah.
So for here, you need to tick either of these. That will help the person to know why you did only 4. So you now time in and time out. So what we'll do is that the Lucas people, are they here? If we have the Lucas people, PMTCT sites, this is what we tick for them. All our PMTCT sites, we tick number 1. All PMTCT sites. But you know, in PMTCT site, we don't do set 2. There is no set 2 for them. So you're gonna tick 1 and you will assess all. But in comprehensive sites, some of them will take this, but there are some of our comprehensive sites that give drug, do everything in the ANC and in the labor and delivery. They don't even, some of them will refer the woman, go and collect drug. Some right there, they will give her drug, they will do everything, blah 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 and all that. For those group, the woman is receiving drug in the MCH unit, because they run it as an MCH clinic. She has no dealing with this other ART clinic. She doesn't even go there. Her folder and everything is there. Even when she delivers, she come back there in the labor room. They give the child never pain. They do everything there and use their registers and everything there. Are we together?
Yes.
So we're gonna go through this quickly, just the way we did. Remember, when you start your assessment, this one, this one, this one, we're gonna fill them. The assessing team, the date of the assessment, and who is the lead. We do that. So the first one, I'm happy that we are doing this because of this first one. It will help us, because it's one of the things I want to raise in the next meeting. Okay, so, and Chambers, I would like to have your view about this when we are going through, because even when I'm doing that thing I showed you when I was going through many of our facilities, once a facility fails one register, every other register follows through, because they are keeping all of them in the same place. And you have about 5 to 6 registers that you will access. I don't know whether you understand.
Yes.
So when we are arguing for register, we argue strongly because you're arguing for 5 or 6 points.
You know.
I don't know whether you get it.
Yeah.
Okay. So see the standard.
Okay, sorry, let me just ask then.
Mm.
What you're doing, what you're doing, is it a reflection? No, just sorry,
Okay, go ahead.
because you mentioned what you're working on. What you're working on, is it essentially reflecting
Everything you are seeing there, yes, I have them.
Yes. So
And I did them
essentially-
set by set by set by set.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is that it's a reflection of the dashboard, It's in dashboard. Okay, not necessarily a reflection
Of the questions.
questions.
No.
Just a dashboard.
Dashboard,
Okay.
yes.
That's
Do you understand?
more than okay. But that's, yeah.
So let's look at the standard. Each facility retains accurate, complete, and updated patient registers that are regularly reviewed. So if for registers, they are assessing both paper and electronic. If you are using electronic, they don't go for paper. If you are using paper, they will not go for electronic. So go for us, what they're using for us is paper. Okay, so here we don't tick here, we leave it. But when we get the second set, that is 402, is electronic, so we'll tick NA for that one. Okay, so the first question is, remember this one is objective, subjective, this one is objective, this one is objective. Do ANC registers exist and are they in use? The facility people will say yes and will tick. This other one now is objective. It asks that we should review the last 10 pages of register. Do the ANC register meet all of the following? It has to meet all for that one to pass. 1. Is it a national or IP standard versions in use? Most of our registers are national versions.
Yeah.
Do you understand? What we use to identify the national version is the coat of arm that is there. Do you understand? So the 2, although we have very few, there is MSH.
Yes.
I don't know, there's one register there that is MSH, but it does pass.
Yeah, because here it is even national
Or IP.
Yes.
Okay. See this one now. Entries, are they legible? And are they greater or equal to 90% of fields complete? This is another one that we do quarrel. If you go to that ANC register, okay, you will see that in some of our facilities, we have ANC register that will give them. The one that came from us.
Yes.
Using the green cover, the national that they are using. That one have few fields to be filled.
Yes.
Just very few. But there is this other pink one that comes from the, is it HMIS?
HMIS, yes.
It comes from the HMI. It has plenty fields.
Yes.
Do you understand? I think the 2 pages is for one observation. Agree to that, we'll say that if it is not applicable, tick, pam, pam. But you know how the work is. In some of these facilities, they might have 50 or 100 women. So you now follow through everything and be ticking, pam, pam, pam. Do you understand?
I should put dash.
Dash, for them to know that is not a forgotten entry.
Okay.
So, Chief, what do you think?
For me, well, I just think that when you say 90% for any register, all you feel is applicable points. You don't feel
the ones that are not applicable.
And what you do to non-applicable points, you leave it blank. Is not to feel anything. That's it. By the national standard.
That is what we argue with them, but they don't agree. And you tick dash.
But that problem usually will arise if they bring people who are not experienced at facility level to do them thing.
And that is what all of them are. They've not worked in the facility.
So if they bring, I think some of them, like I know they use a number of FHI people who are doing it.
Not in Niger.
Okay, if they bring those kind of people who know, who have been using those registers,
they will not have issue.
They know
the right thing to be done.
So it's possible those ones that are agreeing are the ones who know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they are agreeing. The ones who don't know, they follow the papers a day.
Okay. So that is one. The legibility is at the discretion of the assessor. Something that is legible to me might not be legible to you. Is it not true?
Yes, sir.
Because there was one, they said that it wasn't legible, and I read out everything there. She said, but she couldn't read it. I said, but I can read it. And this other person can read it. Maybe we need to go and check your eyes. So these are some of the. Do you understand? So at the end of the day, that one passed. Because she was like, she doesn't understand this writing. So I now asked her, are we going to send Metron back to nursery school to go and start learning how to write? Do you understand? So that is one. Another one now is updated daily, weekly, or panel. All of them are doing this.
Yes.
This one no issue. Okay? But this is another one. As soon as you tick all these three, the next thing is here. Okay? The third question now, which is still objective, is do the register meet all the following criteria? Tick all that applies. Is it regularly reviewed? That one is another issue.
How do they measure that regularly reviewed?
That is the question I want to ask.
Yes.
How is it being measured? Because how facility A shows that they have reviewed the register may be different from how facility B will show, because here they need to see an evidence that you are doing this. Some facilities at the end of the month they will go to the last page, write the total ANC, total that had HIV test, total that is positive. I don't know whether you get all those things. Total that are now signed. Some may not even sign. They write all those total and leave them. In some facilities, what they will do is that at the end they will sign and write date. So to them, it's one of the, we had it in the last assessment. They said that what they want is the signature and date. That total summary they have. But for me, that total summary, that summary shows that you reviewed it. That is what shows that you reviewed it. But they were insisting that what they want is signature and date. I said that somebody can even come just sign but go away, and the person they reviewed the document. So I want to know.
Okay, by M&E standards, what we encourage people to do is they vote.
Okay.
You sum the total and you sign off with a date that you signed off. Then some other person comes and reviews anything different from your own.
He will look for the person that has the signature.
Yes, and then he will also write his own and sign off.
Okay.
And sometimes you just draw a line. If the thing doesn't end at the end, just draw a line on the last line. To show that's where you cut it off. Otherwise, somebody can add things after that.
Okay. Okay. So that is it. Okay. I've gotten it right. But I will not tell them this. So.
No, I will tell them.
If I tell them this, that means every facility should be writing that something and be signing and
you go just leave and your
so I will know how we do it. So that is this one. Our facilities, they do this. Used for routine facility reporting. Of course. That is where we get our data from those registers. You understand? From there to MSS now.
Yes,
when in use, that's another question. that sometimes is causing raising dust. When in use, place so that patient confidentiality is maintained.
What are they looking for in that one?
Okay. You know, this one, there is no explanation here. Okay? And there is another guiding document that explains some of this, that confidentiality. Now, if I go there to define the confidentiality and tell us what is expected. Do you understand? Now, but for them, if a nurse or you come to a clinic, maybe like PSC, you know, we have issues here when it comes to PSC. They have issues with space. PSCs. Yes. When we started, they were like, "Let me say she will build bigger this thing for them now." I say, with which money? So sometimes you come to a PSC, they might have only 2 rooms, and they're running. We have a PSC, like Guanzunu is 3-room PSC. 3. 1, 2. They are using them as ward, while the other one you will enter from. That is where they keep all the registers, and that is where they have the patient. They will sit and they are using the registers. For the patients to be there, when they are using the register, they feel that the confidentiality is not there. That another person can see what you are writing. Chief, I don't know whether you get it. So that is one of the issues.
So what do they expect then?
What do they expect?
They want them the way it is in CCTs. In CCTs, you will see that there is a waiting room out there, yes, where patients are waiting, and you are in here calling in patients one by one to see. That is the standard. Yes. We all know that that is the ideal. But when you see yourself in a situation like Guanzunu and some other or even PPFN in Suleja, PPFN in Suleja is actually 1 room, and we demarcated it for them. Yes, they now have okay, it's actually 3 rooms too. It was the bigger room that we demarcated.
I've never been there.
The other one is lab. The other one is where they are keeping their records. We now demarcated this one to Hajia's office, labor room, and one other place where they are doing palpation and all that. We did message the demarcation for them, the renovation and demarcation. Do you understand? So it's just an issue that is everywhere. So we used to have some levels of argument with them on this. And some people, some of them, it will pass. Some of them will insist that no, there is breach of confidentiality, that patient B can see what you are writing and all that. So see another issue.
I agree with that.
You agree with them, but I will not tell them that you agree with them. Oh.
No, I will not. What I'm trying to say is that I see their point.
Yes.
And I agree that confidentiality is hard. It's just like saying you're doing counseling and testing in outreaches. And then everybody is gathering you.
And you are doing
There's no confidentiality. You know, in outreaches it happens. People are clustering all around you.
Yes.
Is it easy for you to get confidentiality in outreaches? It's not easy.
It's not.
You understand? So, me as an assessor, I can understand that it's challenging for you, but it doesn't take away the fact that
the confidentiality
is not there. It's an issue.
Yes.
The only problem is that when it is found out, the way it is used, it's not used within context. People are not, USID will not see it that like is the best you can achieve at that time. You understand?
But if we are USID that is doing the assessment, they will pass.
Yes,
they know the circumstances. They understand it.
And they know they are not funding you to
to go and build and do all these things.
They know.
They understand. For Duke and some other, it will pass. They will not, Duke will come here and tick all of them and go his way. You understand? So, but see this one now. Some of our facilities, this one normally give them red or yellow. Stored when not in use in a secure place. Now, you are using it here. The question now is, where do you store those registers when you are not using them? They want to know. You see that our shelf outside? If it's in any facility, that facility, they will not take care. They say it's not secure.
Which shelf?
This one out there.
That metal cabinet?
Yes.
That metal cabinet?
No. You see that metal cabinet where we are putting our tea? If it doesn't have a lock, it will not pass.
If you don't get luck, you don't pass through. If you don't get luck, you don't pass through.
They say it must have a lock.
Yes.
That is 1. 2, if it is in this room, and this room doesn't have burglary protector on the windows, and this door doesn't have a lock, it is not secure.
Yes, I can come in.
You can come in too.
That one I will just mark red.
I can come in.
The facility we dey talk about to no be bank.
But that information self is important than
How many hospitals have you gone to and you see that they have burglary and other, even abroad? Who is coming to steal?
Normal door, yeah.
These are the points.
It depends on the location of the place you're talking about again. Let's say like it's an upstairs.
Okay.
That you have to access how many floor before you meet the door. Then putting burglary in the window, it's not too much of a challenge. But if it's a ground floor, it's a problem.
Yeah,
okay. Because it's a facility, people don't think it's necessary. Because
to go and steal. What are you going to steal?
Nobody comes to facility to steal folders.
But you know, even when there was money, even when there was PEFA had money, for MIE stores, we don't put burglaries. For PSM stores,
they put because they have commodities.
So the only thing that we used to assess and agree is that the door must have a lock. So once the door has a lock, if it's a normal regular window you have, whatever that window is in that facility, if they have a normal regular window and the lock in the window is working the way
it's supposed to work, it's secured.
It's secured.
I've gotten a point. My second point now or question is, so in some facilities we've not given them shelf.
Yes.
They've not benefited.
Yes.
So what they were doing is that some of them are packing it on their table, or on the floor like this. They will get a nice place and they are keeping the folders there and all that. But this place we have a lock.
Yes.
And the windows it will be in a normal way.
Yes.
Is it secured?
By the standards that I know, yes.
They will not take it.
It's secured.
They will not.
It's just that if you put additional security,
they want that additional, that inside this room now you will have something like that our stuff with a key.
Okay, let me tell you why they are not correct. And some of these things are things that would debate. If you go to a medical records unit, when there are 5,000 folders,
you can't see that.
All of them cannot be inside that shelf. What is key? You have to display them. So what is key is that this door here
is locked.
Is it locked? So you can't change the game now. You come to ANC because it is just a few registers. Then you change the rule, and I say that they must lock all. It doesn't work that way.
We've actually argued that. I remember there was one I did with Francis. Francis was explaining. They said no, that they are talking about registers, that they are not talking about folders.
Which one is more intricate?
So I'm happy I've gotten the point. So
the folders has everything you want. Register has a subset of what is a folder.
Folders even have the patient's name, address, and phone number.
Everything. So it's even
in fact, in General Hospital Suleja, there was a time I was doing chart review. Okay, I was doing chat review and I saw a folder of my childhood friend. How I got to know was his phone number. But if it were in the register, I wouldn't have known.
Exactly. The name can be distinct.
Do you understand? I was like, I saw the thing, the name, I look at the hometown, look at this, and I now saw the phone number. I then it was his phone number. But this is the first time I'm discussing it. Do you understand? That is to tell you how folder can reveal someone's information. It gives you more information. So I'm happy. So we've gotten, I've learned something, that the secure location they are talking about must not be that shelf and the lock.
Yes.
Do you understand? So we've gotten it. So
if the shelf now is an open space, if the shelf is in an open space,
maybe in the consulting room,
yes,
in that waiting area,
it must have a lock.
Okay. So we've gotten that.
Or if this place now, you know, some of the places that they use for MIEs or all these consulting rooms where they keep registers are partitioned, and some of them are not partitioned to the roof.
Okay. Meaning someone can
climb in.
Okay,
you know,
so
that one partitions are
I
there.
know.
So that one now, you must have that shelf and you must have a lock.
Okay.
And it makes sense. But if it's the normal standard, the place is to the roof. Which burglary? Who they put burglary for? Even normal office.
Okay.
You
know their project was heavily funded. That their project, but they have so much money.
So
they think that everybody has a kind of money that they have. So we're gonna take all this, and so that this is our first. So we rush because of time. It's already 8:30. Our ANC registers used to inform cleaning process. They will ask this point they don't even understand. So we got to explain to them how do they use registers to inform clinic process. Like ANC, is simple. Some of them, when they do that review, they will see the total number of women who have come for ANC. They will now look at a particular service that is issued. Okay, so in part of our planning, we can review our clinic process. Okay, it seems that this our client is because they are seeing doctor before coming for tests. That's why they are not coming for tests. No, they do this test first before seeing a doctor. So once you explain something like this, they say yes, yes, we do. That is even what we are doing. But when you read that thing like that, they throw it the way it is, they will not understand. So that one is yes too, and we give them that grade. So let's quickly do every other one. This one is electronic too. We tick NA and pass. I said that we have paper and this thing NA. So this one is ART in ANC. We have to be very fast here. So see what they do. I forgot to bring out this one. There's what they call a worksheet that we are using. I use Sabi do Ojoro when it comes to assessment though. I've always been the one working on their worksheet for them, and they know that I don't do Ojoro. If it is 0, I will write 0 for us because I want us to improve.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
It's the best.
There was a day, one of them, Richard, one Urobobo, he was like, blessing, say, I know they do like other people. Say they know they give this worship to another person. But for me, say when I finish, they will review that is that same thing. I say because I want us to improve. If I leave it 100%, we won't work on it.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? So what they do here is that there are about 9 indices they are looking for that they will use the worksheet to look for. If you use the worksheet, it makes the thing easier for you because you are going to do a random sampling, bring out the 10 folders. All of them have review of 10 folders, most of them 10 folders.
What worksheet are you talking about?
The assessment worksheet that they are using. There's an assessment worksheet. They have for PMTCT, they have for set 2, which is general population, they have for pediatrics. Okay? How the worksheet is that you will have something like TB screening, IPT, STI, all those services, partner testing, children of adults, all those things that you did in set A, in set 2A. We didn't do set 2A. All those things, they will have all of them. You now have patient 1, patient 2, patient 3, up to 10. Because for each and every one of them, you're supposed to do random sampling for this one. When you come to another one, you still go back and do random sampling. So when you sample and bring out 10, you use it to fill that worksheet. So when you come to patient 1, you will see IPT, you tick yes or no. You come to STI, you check, you tick yes or no. You come to pattern, you tick, you get your 9 stuff. So that when you are doing this worksheet, it makes the work easier for you. You don't need to go back and start doing random sampling against that. No, you've done it. You now use 1 stone to kill 9 birds. So that's what they do. It helps the thing. Okay? But I think this one falls in worksheet because the worksheet of PMTCT is different from the worksheet of this one. It depends on the group you're looking at. This one is looking for those ones that attended ANC within 3 to 15 months of your visit. It's actually looking at 1 year. You know, 3 to 15 months is 1 year now. Is it not? Okay, but that 1 year is actually 3 months backward. Do you understand? The 1 year, 3 months backward. That's what they are looking at. So they want to see of these women, how many of them got ARV within 2 months. Do you understand? So they will look at their charts. Even if for here, no matter the number you count, at the end of the day, you tell them the number of the women that you review their charts. Okay?
Yes.
I don't know whether we are together.
Yes.
So another issue we do have with them is that sometimes when they say number of register or chart entries review, some of them, their boss, they say, I want to use register. But the person is saying charts or entries, that one will burst into another quarrel. Because for us, it is easier with register. Once you bring the folder, you must see everything that you want. You understand? It helps us because in some facilities, you might even bring the register, they've not updated it, they're waiting for the end of the month. You get all those things. So we prefer going for the charts and all that. So with this, they will see score, write the score there, and do the same for Cotrim. The same thing goes for Cotrim. It's the same this month. You do Cotrim. So when they finished ARV, they will do Cotrim in that their worksheet and now use it. They will percentage Cotrim. Do you understand? If you have like 100 folders and 100 of them got the drug and 100 of them got the cotrimoxazole, it's 100 over 100. If you have 100 and it's 85 that got ARVs, 85%. And 85% I don't think is that green.
It's light green.
It's light green. So that's it. So let's be filling them as we are going. Sharp, sharp. Let's write something and be moving so that we can do our collation sharp, sharp. Patient tracking. Remember I said that ANC register, when they are doing their register, there are some sections that speaks to every other, like the location where they store it, how they are using it. It's the same way this person is using ANC register that he will use child follow-up register, that he will use labor and delivery register. Is it not true?
Yes.
And it's where he's keeping this one that he will. So that question, if they register, it speaks for child follow-up register and it speaks for labor and delivery register under PMTCT. That is 4. And if you go to set 2, if it is CCT, it will speak to general ALT register and it will speak to there's one other tracking register too. So the same thing happens for tracking. Why I said it's because of tracking.